make me so proud.
My lady.
Come, Thanos.
Lady Death, Marvel's take on the universe's inevitable. Life and death are two central aspects of existence. There is no meaning to life without death, and no death without life. However, people have often been fascinated with death and what comes after it for centuries. In fact, death has often been personified in many cultures, religions, and mythologies, mostly as men with long beards. However, death has never been as easy on the eyes as is the iteration called Lady Death from Marvel. She is a femme fatale in the true sense of the word because, well, everything about her is fatal. Many of you may not know Lady Death as she does not appear often in the comic books. However, she is a quintessential part of the Marvel Universe due to the role she plays as the embodiment of death and decay. This video will break down all there is to know about Lady Death, her mysterious workings in the grand scheme of the universe, and her relationship with notorious villains. Let's dive in. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. The first comic book appearance and origins explored. Death, like the cosmos and other cosmic things involved with it, was born. Death represents decay and destruction, whereas eternity represents life and progress. God, the punitive creator of Earth 616 and other realities, also claimed that death was established so that his universe creation project, including sentient life, could be approved by his workers. She has no genuine physical form because she is a fundamental force, but she can materialize in such a way that she can interact with tangible creatures. She usually shows up as a human or a human skeleton, but other species may see her in their own forms. Death rarely talks aloud. Its presence is typically enough to communicate its message. She is the entity that pushes forward the workings of the universe, maintaining the balance between the living and the dead to keep equilibrium. Her first comic book appearance was in Captain Marvel issue number 26, which was released in 1973. She mostly joins Thanos in his latest quest to rule Earth here. Death doesn't do anything much here other than stand around and give off a creepy aura. But it's clear that she had feelings for him, which have since formed an important element of their respective mythologies. Death is a woman of few words, so she's okay with Thanos doing most of the talking. All of his power-hungry antics, he reveals at one point, are a frantic attempt to impress Death, and since Death is notoriously tight-lipped, all Thanos can do is continue killing humans until his mistress actually decides to talk to him and tell him that he has finally satisfied her. More on this when we explore her relationship with Thanos. The realm of death, typically inaccessible to the living, is where death makes her abode. The undead servants of death are known as minions. The Infinity, well, there can answer any inquiry by granting access to the dead's amassed wisdom. Death has had a large hand to play in many chaotic events in the universe. She has appeared in multiple story arcs, and some of her most important appearances are as follows. Because she detected an imbalance in the universe, as well as eternity and Galactus attempting to undermine her power and the deeds of the In-Betweener, she brought Thanos back to life in the Infinity Gauntlet story arc. She felt that if the universe's population continued to rise, it would all result in tragedy, leaving her with more souls than she could manage. She orders Thanos to eliminate half of the universe's population. He gradually develops feelings for her. Thanos is granted permission by Death to seek out the Infinity Gems in order to complete his objective. When Thanos removes the Soul Gem from him and places him at the mercy of his outraged superiors, she is free to exact her retribution on the In-Betweener. He goes back to Death after obtaining the final 5 stones. He declares his love for her and believes that they can now govern the universe together. She builds him a throne next to her but refuses to talk to him. When he inquires about this, he is informed that he has become her superior and that they are no longer equals. Thanos intended to conquer the cosmos with Death at his side once he obtained the Infinity Gauntlet. Regardless of what he did, she was unimpressed. He murdered half of the universe's life with a flick of his fingers. She continued to be uninterested. Thanos becomes enraged and unleashes a destructive shockwave throughout the universe. To make matters worse, Thanos creates Taraxia as a partner for himself and informs Death that he no longer requires her affection. This is all a ruse since his love for her is unending. Thanos is eventually turned on by Death, who joins the cosmic beings in their onslaught. This has caused Thanos great pain, even with all of the power in the universe. He can't get her affection, an unfortunate love story. Death soon discovered what she had missed in Thanos in the Silver Surfer. She had picked him because of his power to kill untold billions. She tormented him with nightmares about the deaths he had committed. Her henchmen were no match for the Surfer, so she sought to force him to be her consort. In his search for answers, the Surfer turned to an odd ally, Thanos. Thanos consented to assist the Surfer, but was enraged that the Surfer, rather than himself, would be selected as consort. He seized the Surfer and transported him to Death's realm through trust. Thanos makes one final request to remain by Death's side, offering her the Surfer. Thanos offered to be her lover in exchange for his gift, which she accepted. He's shown Death yet again that he doesn't want to serve her, but rather barter with her. She turns down Thanos once more. Thanos, enraged, sets the Surfer free, and the two team up to destroy Death's troops. Before they go, Death informs Thanos that he will never be allowed to enter her world again, and that he will live indefinitely. Lady Death was then confronted by Walker, a death god from another galaxy. To Thanos' chart, he courted death and she accepted him. The Walker took the life of everyone in his galaxy within himself to give to Lady Death as a gift. This gift repulsed her, so she declined, leading the Walker to grow enraged. He made the decision to kill her because of what she had done. This would throw the cosmos into complete disarray. Thanos would assist Death in hiding and defeating Walker during this time. Thanos encountered Death as a human girl during his journey to the Kiln in the Annihilation War story arc, a jail on the edge of the universe known as the Crunch. This was when she decided to speak with the Mad Titan, who had lost interest in impressing her at this time. She stated that she had went beyond her nature and that she required more than death. She then tells Thanos that she has always loved him with all of her heart, and she wants him to find a way to love her the way she has always desired. Death, who often avoids temporal concerns, takes an uncommon interest in Deadpool, the mouthy mercenary at one point. He is one of the few sane mortals who can see and interact with her, if not the only one. She would often distract him during his torment after his failure in the Department K by creating imaginary worlds for the two of them, such as dancing together or picnicking. He desired to die at that time period so that he may be with her. She made it clear that they would never kiss until after he died, despite her flirty friendships. Thanos, enraged by her attention and feelings for Deadpool, made it impossible for them to be together. She has also had other run-ins with Thanos post this, however. They have all resulted in her turning her back on him due to all the bizarre things he does in order to win her affection. Much of her character is, however, tied to Thanos because she is death itself and he is a harbinger of it. The mysterious connection between Thanos and Lady Death. Lady Death and Thanos have a mysterious connection that is worth noting. Thanos is an immensely powerful creature who has accomplished great things on multiple occasions, depending on a perspective. He is known as one of the major villains of the Marvel Universe. However, have you stopped to consider what was the source of his madness? His hatred towards humankind and all things good? Well, all of this is megalomania begins. When he meets Death for the first time as a child on Titan, Death takes advantage of the Mad Titan's deviance, promising her love in exchange for him becoming the greatest destroyer in cosmic history, which he does. At first, it is to win her favor and affection, but he quickly develops a taste for his new persona, creating the villainous entity we know today. Death, predictably however, desires Death more than Thanos. Thus, Thanos is the Mad Titan because Death had told him that the only way she could ever love him was for him to murder the majority of the universe's population. So, we can chalk all of the destruction caused by Thanos, all the lives lost to the snap, where because of none other than, you guessed it, Death herself. She also had feelings for Deadpool, which made Thanos envious, prompting him to make Deadpool immortal so that he wouldn't die. No one could have death if Thanos couldn't. It was the ultimate thing Thanos could not and would not stand. Thanos decided to act in a decidedly dramatic fashion when he spotted Deadpool pulling the moves on his crush. He cursed Wade Wilson with eternal existence. As a result, Deadpool and Death have what you could call a long-distance relationship. He can't die, and she can't be with him until he does. The true extent of her powers. As the embodiment of death itself, it is safe to say that Lady Death is extremely powerful. In the Marvel Universe, Death is one of the most powerful entities. Her abilities are nearly unfathomable at best. In terms of strength and status, she is on par with Eternity, Infinity, and Oblivion. She has also destroyed a whole reality or universe with a wave of her hand. Thus, she possesses high omnipotence and is capable of virtually achieving any feat she wishes. However, here is a breakdown of all of her powers as having been observed during her appearances in the comics. Death can free the soul or spirit of a living being, although it usually delegates this work to afterlife figures like the Valkyries, Hela, or the Doormen. Death is the incarnation of all death. Therefore, every lost soul belongs to it, regardless of the instrument of passage. Death can also undo this process and bring a person back to life, but this is an uncommon occurrence. Death may choose to ignore some beings as a show of appreciation for their capacity to survive. This is where the Elders of the Universe fit in. Other entities with the necessary knowledge, such as the Sorcerer Supreme, can openly oppose death, and if they win, they become impervious to true death. Death cannot die since it isn't genuinely alive. To eliminate death as a cosmological idea, the universe's underlying laws would have to change. She can alter reality, time, space, matter, energy, and magic in any way she wants for any reason. It rarely utilizes this power, probably because it does not want to upset the cosmic entity's balance, which could put it in danger. One of her nicer qualities is that death may assume the form of a loved one if it appears as a mortal being in its dying minutes. For example, when Captain Marvel died, it materialized as Una, his truest love. The Nova Corps, which is the intergalactic military and police force of the Nova Empire, had once reported that she posed a universal and maybe a multiversal threat. Death, on the other hand, is unlikely to pose a threat internationally because she is simply carrying out the responsibilities of death as a universal notion. Thus, she is a being with great power that comes with great responsibility. Lady Death in the Silver Surfer animated series as Lady Chaos. Lady Death has also been known as Lady Chaos in her appearance in the Silver Surfer animated series. In the storyline, Thanos was smitten with Lady Chaos. He was continuously trying to discover a solution to restore Chaos to her live form because she was in the form of a statue. Thanos joined forces with Ego, the living planet, crazed to learn the secrets of how to return his beloved Chaos to him. Galactus, the planet eater, had immense knowledge, according to Ego, and would be able to help him. Thanos thus infiltrated Silver Surfer's consciousness in order to discover Galactus' secrets. During this operation, Thanos discovered that if the universe was in pure disarray, chaos would come back to him. Surfer discovered a succession of planets that Thanos had destroyed, and he hastened to alert the next planet in Thanos' sights. It was a planet that consisted of dreamers and dream manipulators. Surfer awoke one of their superheroes, Beta Ray Bill, to assist them in finally defeating Thanos. They deceive Thanos by sending him a dream in which he believes Lady Chaos has returned. Thanos was misled by Surfer's plot until he departed from the area, which was long enough to foil the attack. Thanos, however, was not one to stop and made another attempt to awaken Lady Turmoil by creating even more chaos. Only Silver Surfer seemed to notice as time began to reverse itself. Thanos eventually realized that he would have to wipe out the entire universe to earn her love, and the cosmos imploded in on itself before the Surfer could stop him. The character of Lady Death has all the components of being a badass addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She is a powerful woman who is the literal physical manifestation of death. She has been portrayed to be a beautiful gothic woman who is in charge of all that has to do with death and decay, and thus is literally part and parcel of the fabric of the universe. Do you think she has a future as a character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? And who would be a good choice to play her in live action iterations? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already.